kissed his forehead, and I began to forget long after. It was sweet. It was like falling asleep from this nightmare, this fucking nightmare. I heard myself scream from afar. In the blue and green, I started to turn away as my legs began to give out on the roof of the gas station. I feel nothing holding onto his hand. The blister now is a universe away. Just before I turn and walk down the hill, pouring rain into my back. I smile and I slip away. I smile at her red and blinking eyes. I'm so confused. Did she dream that the girl died, or did she actually? I don't like any of these stories. Oksana found that all the housework fell onto her, while Alina idealed her days. Oksana's father was a timid man, and he could not bring himself to defy his wife. So Oksana wore Alina's cast-off clothes, and her hands grew red and chapped from scrubbing in the cold, while Alina attended parties, growing lazy and spoiled. One year, when winter snows particularly faded, Oksana's family ran out of money. Oksana's stepmother began nagging her father to send her away because they couldn't afford to keep two girls. Her father agreed and took her to a deep cottage in the woods and left her there. She was very frightened. The woods were said to be filled with demons and monsters, so she was practical. She entered the cottage with her small bundle and found a fireplace and lopsided table and a rusty old pot. Oksana put away a loaf of bread, a knife, and a slab of cheese that her father had given her. She folded the blanket and laid it near the fireplace, and then she collected the wood and built a fire. She knew that the bread and cheese would not last her all winter, so she made a snare using the thin, flexible branches of the trees caught no rabbit could eat. She also dug hunches in the snow and found seeds and berries for food. By dark, she had melted the water for drinking and used the rest to make a stew. She ate well. Then she lay down near the fire for the rest of the night, listening to the wind howl and pretending to herself that she was not frightened of the woods. It was midnight when the knock came. Knock, 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 it echoed, howlingly through the dark cottage. She woke up with a start and her heart was pounding in fear, and then it came again. Knock, knock, knock. Oksana thought that it was monsters. She hid under the bed, praying that it would go away. Knock, knock, knock. The wind howled. placed me near the fire. Anger was born with compensation inside of her, but comprehension won, and compassion. She put it next to the fire. "I'm hungry," said the cow's head. "Feed me." Oxana thought of her mealy food supply, the stew that was left of the pot for her breakfast, and she fed it to the cow's head. "I will sleep now," it said. There was no softening in with her attitude towards her. Nevertheless, Oxana made it comfortable for her for the night, giving it her blanket and sleeping in a cold corner with only her croak to keep her warm. When she woke up in the morning, the cow's head was gone. Where it had slept in a large trunk filled with the most beautiful gowns that she'd ever seen, under the gowns laid heaps of golds and jewels. She blinked at the riches in front of her, and her father's voice rested. "Daughter, I am come." Oxana forgot the trunk in her joy, and she ran into his arms, and he had to feed the stepmother to come home and bring her back to the home. "Papa, come see," she said as she pulled him into the cottage. Her words trembled over each one as she explained. Her father took her home. She was so honored that in her town for the compassion and her bravery that she won scores of suitors. She married soon after her return from the cottage. Hearing her story and seeing the riches she had received, Olena went to the cottage in the forest and spent the night there. But the cow's head appeared. She was too lazy to serve it. In the morning, all the gowns had turned into rags and her possessions into dust. But Oxana lived to wreck the old age of happiness and prosperity. This is called Yellow Ribbon. Jane wore a yellow ribbon around her neck every day, and I mean every day, rain or shine, whether it matched her outfit or not. It annoyed her best friend Johnny after a while. He was the next door neighbor that had known Jane since she was about 3. When he was young, he had barely noticed the yellow ribbon, but now they were in high school together, it bothered him. "Why do you wear that yellow ribbon around your neck, Jane?" he asked her every day, but she wouldn't tell him. Still, in spite of his aggravation, Johnny thought she was cute. He asked her to the soda shop for an ice cream sundae. Then he asked her to watch him play football. Then he